It's a little after 1 o'clock. It's pretty hot out there. I spent the morning, or a little bit of the morning, rebedding the stanchion bases on the starboard side and reinstalling the lifelines. We had taken them out back in January because we thought that one of them might be leaking, and so we actually rebedded a bunch of stuff, as you probably saw if you had been watching those videos from back then, and that indeed one of those things did fix our little leak that we had over on that side. But I never fully rebedded all the stanchion bases and reinstalled them, reinstalled the stanchions, because I had run into a little bit of a problem and sort of ran out of time. But I finally got that all up now, and it's looking pretty good. I'll take you over there in a second to show you, and then I'll come back here and show you what I'm up to right now. So here's one of the stanchions that I rebedded. You can see right here that little piece that comes out, the support that comes out from the bulwarks that I'm sort of pointing at there. That was our problem. I initially rebedded everything back in January, and then when I went to put the stanchion in, it didn't actually fit. There was just it was slightly off, the hole there. So this time I put the stanchion in and then rebedded that support piece. Made all the difference in the world, and thanks a lot to the folks in the Tiana Owners Group who pointed out to me how to do it. I appreciate it. I'll show you just another thing. Been up to a lot of little projects, partly just to keep out of the sun today, but this was, this is a tee that was under our galley sink. It was covered in 5200 a little while ago. I really thought that we were just going to toss it, but I hadn't bought a new one, and so I decided to just clean this old one up. So it took me, 15-20 minutes. I might even put a little acetone on it to get the last of this stuff off, but just use the old wire brush on it, and so that was one of the other things I was up to this morning. Let me go show you what I'm up to right now up in the bow. So here we go. This is our former washdown pump. It went right in here, and well, for a variety of reasons we're taking it out, but mainly because these connections right here were so small, and we're going to be putting 5/8 inch hose on it, and so we wanted to have the proper fit rather than putting this below the water line with a really snug O-clamp like it used to be. We are going to install a new water pump, washdown pump, which will allow us, which will have 5/8 inch fitting coming off of it, and allow us not to worry as much about that connection there and what might happen to it. So, I'm really early in the process here. Just had to clear out the V-berth here in order to get access to that, and then took the thing out, but I'll be putting that in probably this afternoon. Sort of got a couple other things to do, sort of non-boat related things to do. I got a couple work projects that I need to take care of. I'm also trying to track down a couple items. We're putting stay lock on the rigging. However, the SSB sort of isolator, antenna isolator for the backstay. The old one that was on there was Norseman, and those things are, would be $400 or $500 to replace that. And so we're going to keep with the Norseman for the time being, if I can find enough cones. I had ordered all the rigging from Rigging Only up in Massachusetts, but they were out of, or they had 2 of the Norseman 3/8 inch cones left. So I still need to find 2 more. I'd like to find 3 or 4, just so I could have a backup in case I screw it up while I'm putting it together. Not finding too much luck. Yesterday I was looking online. Almost everybody is out of the Norseman cones. Defender had a lot of cones, but they were, all on closeout, and they had no 3/8 inch ones. Fisheries Supply up in Washington had 1 3/8 inch cone, so might end up just picking that one up. But I still need to find 2 more. So I need to go and do some of that along with the work. I need to put in an order for a bunch of other boat stuff too. So that's probably going to cut my day short a little bit. but I'm going to work here for another, I don't know, hour or two before I shower up and get going. Try to get some of that other stuff done. But I'll keep you guys informed. Alright, totally misspoke before, because it's been 6 months since we've dealt with this hose, and now I sort of recall what was going on. As you can see here, I've begun to install the pump, but while I was doing so, I realized that the fittings that come with the pump are 3/4 inch fittings. You can actually get 5/8 inch 5/8 inch fittings for them. I think you could just probably pick them up at Lowe's, but Japsco also sells those parts as well. But as I was sitting down in there, I started to realize that we were trying to actually go to 3/4 inch. We had debated back and forth about whether the washdown pumps were going to be 5/8 or 3/4. We started to go in the 5/8 direction and actually put some fittings on the bow part where the hose comes through the deck, and then after we did all that, we realized that it was probably just better to stick with 3/4 inch hose throughout our whole raw water system, because everything else is 3/4 inch. So I actually had bought a 50-foot roll of the 3/4 inch hose. It's sitting out in the trunk of the car, as I just checked. So that is what we're going to have to do, is replace some hose, which we knew we were going to have to do anyway, but replace it with the 3/4 inch hose. I'm not going to have to go and buy a different fitting for this pump. So we should be good to go. Thing is that I'm realizing that it's pretty worthless for me to go much further without all the hose in place. So I think I'm going to call it a day. It's raining outside again. It's sort of been raining on and off for the last hour or so, and that means I've got the windows closed in here, the ports closed, and so it's pretty warm. I'm just going to call it a day, clean up a little bit here, and then go and get some of those jobs done that I was talking about, and then hopefully tomorrow I will get going on the hose. I feel like I'm sort of in a holding pattern, which is awful because we've got so much work to do. I don't really want to get started on the rigging work until I can really focus on that day in and day out. We've got a bunch of other jobs to do, but most of them are sort of hose related, or well, I think all of them are actually hose related in one way or another. And I really need Margaret's help for some of it. It's hard enough to move that replace hose with 2 people, but with one, it's like you get in a tight spot, and then you realize if somebody could just give you a little bit of slack on the other side, it really helps. So she's going to be here on Friday. It is Wednesday now? Yeah, it's Wednesday now. But I don't really want to wait that long to sort of get into this job, so I think I'm going to try to do the hose replacement stuff myself tomorrow. Be awesome if I can knock all that out. And we'll see. Maybe I'll come up with a different plan tonight. But I'm going to hopefully go out and order those things, take care of some other work, hit the post office, things like that. Yeah, it was a good day at work today, a little shortened. Glad I got this whole hose pump thing figured out, because we're good to go on that now. And yeah, so take it easy, guys.